welcome to Inside the Mind of, a podcast where I dive deeper into the minds of some of my favorite people and people who inspire me in the wrestling community. Joining me today, she is the boss bitch of BotchedSpotAndChairShots. Lost my voice through the whole thing. I'm, of course, talking about Allison. How are you?
I'm great, Katie. How are you?
I'm good. I'm blaming the weather for why my voice sounds the way it is, because it was 20 degrees yesterday and it's 50 today.
Yeah, isn't there also like something happened in Ohio and there's like toxic rain or something up there?
Yeah, so thankfully, I'm a little ways from where it would kind of be affecting me. But, like, yeah, that's why the water is just, people are just like, be careful of your tap water right now. I love it. Yay!
So good. Yeah, I saw a girl post on TikTok that, like, they were told, like, don't go outside. Don't take your pets outside. Like, she lives, I think, towards, like, near York. Like,
Okay.
that area, yeah.
Yeah, thankfully, Pittsburgh is, like I said, far enough away where we shouldn't really get affected too much. If they cleaned it up, it wouldn't be a fucking issue, but, here we are.
You know, it's the little things, kid. The little things.
It's only the little things. But, of course, I have to start this the same way as I always do. Allison, how did you get your start in podcasting?
So, I got started, so it was like very late, beginning of into 2020, beginning of 2021.
Okay.
I was asked, hey, I need some marketing stuff for a wrestling podcast. Do you want to help me out? Okay, sure, whatever. I literally, what's funny about the way that I tell the story and the way that he tells the story is that, like, the concept was built before I was involved. So it was him and Bobby and their friend Evie that came up with the idea in a group chat. Okay. Well, they were dragging their feet as men do.
Yeah.
As men do. And I literally was like, okay, well, what do you want to call this show so I can make a logo? And, we tossed out like a couple different names and then came up with BotchedSpotAndChairShots. So, like, a couple more weeks went by and I was like, are we going to do this? Like, what's going on? And I just said, fuck it. And I said, hey, here's a logo. Like, let's go. So I kind of like drug them along the way. And so the first few months, it was just the two of them. Mm-hmm. And then we took a break starting in June 2021, because somebody decided to get sick. And so after that, once that was all done, we went back to it just being the two of them, and then we joined Smacked Raw and started doing that, and Kai got us to do video, which we didn't necessarily want to do at first, but I'm so thankful, honestly, that we did it, because it has been it's been a game changer. Like, audio only, one, isn't nearly as fun.
Yeah.
And, like, this is just so much better, like, watching it. Like, honestly, like, I'd rather watch it than just be, like, listening to it. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I started coming on shows here and there. And then the first time that we threw away some shoes, it was decided that I was going to be on screen full time. And so here we are. I'm actually even going to be doing my own show eventually. It's going to be sometimes wrestling related, sometimes not. And I think we're gonna call it the Boss Bitch Power Hour.
Yes.
I think Jess is the one that came up with that name.
That sounds like a Jess.
Yeah. I think it was Jess. And so yeah, so it's gonna be mostly like it's gonna be a little bit of wrestling, but mostly like just bitching about girl things like relationships and just whatever the fuck we want to talk about for an hour.
Yeah, it's gonna be incredible, first and foremost, and that's the good thing about having shows with many shows within it is they all don't have to be about wrestling. It's a great time.
Yeah. No, it is. And like one thing we're doing with like Rivet, like our new like Rivet City Radio thing, is that we want it to be more than just wrestling. Like it's gonna be like wrestling and pop culture and music and pretty much like a place where all types of podcasts can live. Right now it's just Botch Spots and Chair Shots, but like if anybody wants to do a show about, whatever, like let's do it.
Yeah. So. You guys want to create a network, basically.
Yes.
Rightfully so. You guys are... I love working with you two. Like, some of my favorite people. Not to be biased or anything, I swear.
We're pretty cool.
Yeah, you guys are pretty cool people, I guess. Pretty cool. But, the reason I really, met you guys was... Ironically enough, Smack Draw. That's the common theme for quite a few people was that was their former home. It was mine, and then I left, and then have this. There was a certain pastor on. He left. You guys were on. You guys left, and have created your own entity as well. So I guess it's a good. As weird as it sounds, it brings people closer to the goals that they have eventually.
Yeah. It's like Smack Draw is like the training ground to get on Twitch and kind of get going, and then it's like, okay, well, let's branch off on our own and do our own thing. Like we parted ways only because we wanted to grow in a different direction and do our own things. Like we wanted to do more than just wrestling, and Smack Raw is wrestling focused. So, it was just we want to grow and make money and make a business out of this. We have a LLC that we're going to be putting together. We call it Gray Mark Entertainment. And so we're actually going to be making a whole entertainment group, and within this group we have a catering company called Hot Like Sauce Barbecue. We also have I am also a professional photographer.
Pop.
So it also houses my photography business, and it also houses my graphic design business. I have an Etsy shop that is I make custom digital invitations, and all you have to do is print them off and stuff. So
okay,
I'm the queen of the side hustle.
As you should be. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Side hustles make the world go around.
Yeah, I literally have 4 full-time jobs. I real life shoot job. I actually work in digital marketing. So, it's helpful to help us grow and stuff. It's I know how to make the things work.
It's I know the things we need. I know how to make them, and I know how to make them work.
I can do some scary things with Google. It's I know how Google finds you.
Oh, no. Google's a scary place. Everybody, it's
Google
a very scary place. So I don't even know how many episodes you have been on of Botched Spots and Chair Shots. I feel like I have to enunciate it more now since I messed it up the first time. But do you have a favorite episode you've been on?
Honestly, one of my favorites is the first one that we did together. It was just the two of us. It was we called it, I think it was the non-wrestling episode where we talked about like all of the like video games and other TV shows like Camp WWE and like different things that the wrestlers have done that had nothing to do with wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my most favorite soundbite of every soundbite. We were talking about like the Super Mario Brothers movie with Captain Lou. And I was not aware that Will could not pronounce Luigi.
Oh, that's
and
how this
he
started.
called it what is it? It's like Luigi. And he literally said, you know, Captain Lou Albano as Luigi. And I literally stopped in my tracks and was like, who? And now it's like a running joke between us, you know, that he can't say Luigi. It's Luigi. Luigi.
If you just say it like with like a very, very stereotypical Italian accent, you'll got it. Like Luigi.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorites, just for like the pure like funniness of that moment, because like it's one of those moments that is just like, it's like it was super real. It's like really shows like our banter.
Yeah.
That I just make fun of him all the time.
Hey, good rapport, good banter,
Yeah.
makes for great content.
It does.
Like, I think about when I'm on Smack and Raw and the dynamic I have with those two.
Yeah.
I won't mention him by name, because I'm doing really good with not mentioning him by name in every episode. So I'm doing good. I'm very proud of myself. I almost said it, and I was like, no. Or like me and Savannah, when we go back and forth. Or if I go on Young Kings, the banter I have with them. It just makes for good entertainment as long as you guys are entertaining yourselves.
Yeah.
Basically is what
we have a good time, so we hope everybody else has a good time watching us. Our banter's pretty funny. I mean, we've been friends for 18 years, so I would think we'd have pretty good banter.
Yeah. I would hope so. Just maybe.
Maybe.
Now, I'm curious to see if I can answer this one. With going live specifically, I know a lot of things can happen that are very unexpected, and things happen, whether it's a technical thing, it's a person issue, any unexpected moments that you can remember that you want to talk about. They can be funny ones too. They don't have to be bad ones.
Let's see. Here recently, so the cats. So there are 5 cats in the house.
Yes.
And 2 of them are kittens. And they don't like it when they can get into the studio. And so they will sit and meow at the door. And sometimes you can hear them on the show, and it's hilarious. But I think the funniest moment, and this actually didn't happen on a podcast episode. This happened a couple of weeks ago on TikTok.
Okay.
Will and Bobby were going at it on TikTok.
Of course.
Yes. And like Bobby was doing Bobby things. And like, you know, so Will got up and was so pissed. He got up, ripped off his like MJF scarf, and just like stormed out of the room. Like turned off TikTok and like stormed out. It was like sitting here watching, because I wasn't on, because I don't have 1,000 followers on TikTok yet. No shameless plug. Follow me on TikTok.
You do. We'll get there. Don't worry.
No, I know. But it was just funny, like that moment, just like the rage going out. And then there was another time we were I don't even remember what the episode was about.
Okay.
But it was another episode of them like getting into it and like stream just cut. Like it's just like funny things like that, just arguments where like things get cut off and stuff like that. There's always, there's always like a little funny moment, but like, I don't know. I think it's funny when he gets mad and just storms off.
I think the funniest part about him getting mad is, like, picturing it is the ripping off of the MJF scarf. Yeah, that's the best part about it.
Thrown across the room, like, it was hilarious. Like, I wish TikTok did where you could, like, save your lives. I think it does, I'm not sure, but like, such a funny moment.
I would say it'd be funnier if, like, you could have, like, filmed it, but, like, you didn't expect him to get up, rip off
to
the
rage quit a show.
Hey, I mean, if you can rage quit gaming, you can rage quit a podcast or a show. Or
yeah, I've thrown many a controller across the room.
Me too. I've punched a lot of couch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
For
God
sure.
Damn it! Through gritted teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I'll be playing Fortnite and get killed by a 12-year-old. I'll be like, fuck. I'm just like, I quit.
Those 12-year-olds are vicious.
They are vicious.
I'm a hell of a sniper though in Fortnite. I will say, I'm pretty proud of myself. Not the flex.
I just run around and just shoot people. Like, I'm okay at sniping sometimes, but like, I don't know. I'm like, do you know the Leroy Jenkins reference? Do you know what I?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a Leroy Jenkins. Like, I'll just like run into like the fight and just like. So
if I need to, I will. Usually if I can find a nice hilltop, set myself up, have a nice little day to myself.
Yeah.
Love it.
I definitely don't build though, because
oh hell no.
I just no.
It doesn't. I've tried. I'm so happy now there's like a no build.
Yes.
I'm like, see, they knew, because the way that these 10, 12-year-olds can build in 10 seconds, it's not okay.
Yeah. And I don't think it's fair that you can trap me in a box and shoot me.
Yeah. You shouldn't be allowed to trap me in a box.
Right. Like, I don't know, we should definitely play squads one day.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
Be hilarious.
I mean, I do have PS4. So we definitely could. And plus it's cross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I have an Xbox, but I play with Will, who's got a PS4. So like,
oh yeah, we'll get there.
He's like a master. I'm good, but I'm not like, he's like 25 kills a game.
I can get, if it's a good day, I can get 10, maybe a little more, but 25. Goddamn. Okay, take it easy, Will.
I make it to at least like top 15 most of the time.
Yeah. Unless it's just like you land in a horrible place and you're like, well, I don't even have a gun. Dead. 99.
Yeah.
Fuck. Every time.
No, for sure.
But since we're on that, besides all of the side hustles you do and everything, because you are the glue of Botched Spots and Chair Shots, it's
100%.
It's all you. When you're not doing all of that, we already could just talk about gaming, but other hobbies you would like to enjoy doing.
Let's see. Yeah, I play a lot of video games. I have a niece and nephew that I spend a lot of time with. They live in Georgia. Okay. Nathaniel is 6 and Rebecca is 4.
Oh, Nathaniel, that's right.
Yeah. So, like, what's funny is, like, they're just now getting into gaming. Mm-hmm. Like, they have a Switch and they're, like, obsessed with playing Mario. So it's like, yes. Like, yeah. So, no, I spend a lot of time with them. They're funny. They love calling me from their iPad. You know, like one day I was at work and they were out of school for whatever reason, and Rebecca, my niece, called me. She's like, "Hey, Allison, what are you doing?" I was like, "Rebecca, I'm at work." She's like, "Well, that's no fun." And then she hangs up on me because I couldn't talk to her. Like, yeah, like, all right, bye. Yeah, 90% of my life is spent either working or doing things for the podcast. Mm-hmm. Like, I make a lot of graphics for a lot of other like content creators and stuff. Like I've been doing some logos. I work a lot.
You do.
And then like we do a bunch of like indie shows, and we're about to go on the road for a bunch of indie shows. Like we're going to Georgia for an indie show. We're going to go to Memphis for an indie show. I think we're going to try to come up to Chicago for an indie show. So,
wow. Dang.
Yeah.
You do a lot.
The hustle. We got to hustle.
We can't do a lot in life. You know what we can do? Hustle.
Hustle. Yep. That's exactly right.
Hey, back to like the niece and nephew. Both of my nieces are 6. It's very much Minecraft now. Oh my god, my mom got
Nathaniel's
them each.
Obsessed.
My mom got them each a like Minecraft bucks thing, whatever. I've never understood Minecraft. That's not my thing.
I don't understand it either.
It's a bunch of blocks. I don't understand. But my one niece, my sister's daughter, like fainted because she's very dramatic. I love her to pieces. She was just like, and my sister sent a picture to my mom, and she's like, she fainted because you got her Minecraft money. And I was like, this kid, I'm telling you, dramatic, but I love them. They're great.
Yeah. Nathaniel's super into Minecraft. Becca still can't really do it yet at 4. Like she gets frustrated with it, but Nathaniel, like, he's 6, but he's really like 12 or 15.
Yep.
I mean, this is a kid that taught himself like how to read. And he didn't want my sister to teach him, who is a teacher. He's like, no, I'm gonna do this on my own. He asked her to download him an app. He taught himself how to read. So, so he's into everything. Like, he's gonna be an engineer. Like Legos, he loves building, obsessed with like space and cars, and just he's all over the place. But yeah, Minecraft is his jam. He had a Minecraft birthday party, of course. But yeah, obsessed with Minecraft. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know what to do. Is it The Sims? Is it not The Sims? Like, what am I doing? Love The Sims.
Sims is fun. I was terrible at it because I can never keep everybody alive.
That's what cheat codes are for.
The only one I always remember doing was the money one. Because we need them simoleons, whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah.
That's my sister's thing. She's very much. We were just talking about it yesterday because we went wedding dress shopping for her. She's getting married next year, and she did find her dress, and I was very happy, and it was very cute.
Yay!
And first appointment too. I was just like, damn, because she came out and like you could see the emotion, and we were like, that's what it is, and it was. So, but we were just talking about Sims yesterday and how she has so many fucking mods for the Sims on her computer. I was like, you're obsessed.
Yeah, I used to do mods because, like, I didn't like putting the house together. I was like, ugh, this takes too long. So I would literally download, like, pre-put together houses and, like, just changed a few things, like, furniture-wise that I didn't like. Because I was just like, I don't want to do this. Like, I just want to play. So I'd, like, get all the money and do all of that.
Yeah, like, nobody... yeah, it's fun, like, building it, but then, like, some of the... You just have to get into so much detail sometimes, and it's so much... No, no thanks. I'll stick to, like, House Flipper.
Yeah. Some of the mods now, like, are crazy. Like, it's weird. Like, I see it on TikTok, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't know how it got recommended to me. My For You page is all over the damn place. But there's these two, I'm assuming they're sisters. They come on my TikTok every once in a while, and they, like, do Sims-related things. So the last one was each room was, like, double the size. So the first one was, like, 1 tile, and then 2, and then 4. But, like, the banter they have with each other was entertaining, so it was so fun to watch. And then it ended up being recommended to me as a YouTube video later in the day, and I was like, alright, I'm getting real sick of this.
I mean, I can tell you how all of that stuff works, but
Google's scary, no.
Google's scary. Your phone is listening to you.
Oh, I know damn well my phone is listening to me. She's listening, I understand.
What's so funny is, like, with my job, like, my algorithm is so messed up sometimes, and like what it pitches to me, because like I do a lot of, the company I work for, we do a lot of stuff in Missouri because we have an office in Missouri, and so like my TikTok thinks that I live in Missouri.
Yeah.
So like I'll see like all these things about Missouri. It's like, no bro, like I don't live in Missouri. Like, what's going on?
No, you do not.
So it's pretty funny. But yeah, The Sims, my favorite part about doing The Sims growing up was like when I got, mad at a friend, like when I was in high school and stuff, I'd like make them a character and like, put them in a tiny box with a
pool with no ladder.
A pool with no ladder.
Which apparently now they can get out of the pool with no ladder.
See, that's why you put them in a house with no doors with a fire pit.
Jesus. Alright, everyone take a note. Reminder, do not piss off Allison. Or she will make you a sim and trap you. Good to know.
Why they gotta take all the fun things away? Like, what if I want to kill my Sims?
It's true. Yeah, I feel like they... I don't know. I don't even know last time I played Sims, to be honest with you. I see it all the time.
Same.
So we're just like talking about it like we still know everything.
Yeah. Well, like, some of the mods for the new... Have you seen some of the mods for the new Harry Potter game? There's like a mod where you can make your wand like a gun.
What
like it'll shoot like a gun. That's why I play on like a game console instead of my computer, because on the game console I can't do any mods.
True. Very true.
So it's pure.
It's pure. So the next question is also one of my favorite ones, because I love hearing people's reactions or what they say. If you could have a table for four kind of esque dinner with any 3 wrestlers that are alive, who are you picking and why?
The first one I'm gonna pick is Mick Foley, because I think he's an amazing human being. Mm-hmm. I've had some interaction with him. I bought 2 cameos from him when Will was in the hospital, like when he first got cancer. Mm-hmm. I got, because Mick Foley is his favorite.
Yeah.
I did a cameo for him, and like, in cameo, like you say, like, while you're doing the cameo,
yeah,
typically cameos are only like a minute, and so like he did 3 minutes. Wow. And like it was super personal and like super amazing. He told like this really like cool story. It was just awesome. And then he like chatted me through, because you can actually pay to chat with them.
Oh yeah.
Via Cameo, and he actually turned on like the free chat option so that like because he wanted updates. Aww. And stuff. And I thought that was like super cool. Fast forward to like a year-ish later, when Will was done and he was doing his last chemo treatment, I did another cameo for the end of it. Not only did Mick Foley like remember the whole thing, like again, another like super long cameo, personalized story, like it was just incredible. And then this past July, we met him at StarCast. We did a meet and greet, and like Will introduced himself, and he knew exactly like who he was. Yeah, it was super cool. Like he's just like such an amazing human being that I'd love to like sit down with him just to like chat with him about life.
Yeah.
So yeah, like he's just a good person, and I think the world needs more Mick Foleys.
True.
Like genuinely like good people.
I 100% agree.
My next one would be Seth Rollins,
Okay.
and it has nothing to do with wrestling. I just think he's hilarious and low-key, like, super hot. Like,
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
love Seth Rollins. Like,
Hell yeah. Caliente.
Like, that Joker thing with Becky was the best thing I've seen. So good. I love, like, of course you don't know we have a man cave. I'm the man. Like, amazing. Like,
Classic.
love it. So Seth Rollins for eye candy and just comedy.
Fair.
And my third one, I'm gonna pick Piper Nivens because I think she's just such a badass. Like, they don't use her enough, I mean, at all. But, like, I don't know, I just think, like, she's such a badass, and, like, I follow her on, like, Twitter and stuff, and she also just seems like a super, like, genuine person.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel like we could be, like, fun friends. Like, you're real cool.
Yeah.
So that would be my 3.
I feel like it's a very well-rounded 3. Like I said, this is always one of my favorite ones to, like, hear what people say and the reasoning. See,
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that stuff when I'm 90% sure Will also picked McFoley, because you said it's his favorite. But, like, he didn't say anything about all of that, so now I get to hear the other side of I love it. I love it so much.
Something just went crash.
I heard. Do you need to go check on it?
No, I sent a text. It's fine.
You said I text. So while you're making sure the house is not breaking, do you have any advice for people watching or listening? It could be podcast related, it can be life, it can be whatever.
My advice would be to not give up. Like, I know that's corny and cliche, but honestly, like, if you want something bad enough, like, don't give up. Like, keep grinding, keep trying, like, you know, do what it takes to get it. You know, sometimes you have to go down to go up.
Yeah.
And you just, if you want it bad enough, you just gotta put the work in. Like, podcasting, as you know, is hard.
Yes.
Like, it's not, you know, everybody can have a podcast. You know what I mean? But, like, not everybody can have a good podcast. So, like, you know, what you do and what we do, like, it's hard work. And, you know, while it's not the most lucrative thing at the current moment, like, we're gonna keep going until it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the goal. Like, just, yeah, again, cheesy and corny, just don't give up on something you want, whether it's a job or, you know, anything. Just keep chugging along. Life sucks 80% of the time.
True.
But if you put in effort, then it might only suck like 60% of the time.
Exactly. Putting it in, and there's nothing wrong with being cheesy, as you say. Like, it's good advice. It's advice that a lot of people will listen to. Sometimes you can have these fantastical quotes that are long and, you know, they're very powerful, but sometimes it really is just like the short and sweet ones. John Cena's was literally never give up for the longest time. That was one of his catchphrases. And it worked. Like, it really helped a lot of people. So
No, it did. And, like, the only other thing I could say is, like, also, like, kind of corny. Like, don't let the haters get you down. Like, people are gonna come at you. Like, whenever you start to succeed at something, there's going to be people in your life that are going to want to belittle it and put you down. And you just gotta, like, wash out the noise. Like, you know, there's always TikTok trolls and Twitter trolls. You know, someone's always gonna have something to say. You just can't take it personal. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just rise above it. Sometimes be a little petty, but other times rise above it. A little pettiness goes a long way.
That's very true. Can't go wrong. Everyone's allowed to be petty every once in a while. Just don't be like the type of person who's always petty, because then it just makes you look like a bad person. You can be petty every once in a while. Yeah.
Petty when petty is deserved.
There you go. I like it. And I'm also curious about this one. You, Allison, you're going to be writing an autobiography of your life. It can be your entire life. It can be a section of your life. It can just be your life right now. What is the title of your autobiography, and why are you choosing your title?
Oh, man. That's hard. The first thing that comes to mind, and this is gonna be funny because of what I just said, like, honestly, I would call it, like, Don't Be Petty. And it's because, you know, growing up as a Jewish kid in the South, and I had a hard time with friends. When I had some friends that when their parents found out that I was Jewish, they weren't allowed to be my friend. You know, just like dumb, stupid crap like that. So, like, things that you wouldn't think that you'd have to deal with, you do. So, like, I say don't be petty because, you know, I had to learn at a very young age to rise above all of that crap and to still be a genuine person instead of being somebody who is angry and hateful and petty all the time. Yes, being petty has its moments, but for the most part, like, be a genuine person. And that's something I try to be, is like a genuine, like, good person. Like, I always say, like, I'm the best friend you'll ever have until I'm not. So, you know, it's just try to do good things for people and not expect anything back from it. Like, I don't help other podcasters, like, get logos and stuff done because I want something from it. I do it because, like, I want to help our community.
Yeah. 100%.
So, yeah. So don't be petty.
I feel like it's a great title. Listen, I've had people describe the book covers in detail. I've had some people not, like, this question takes a mind of its own sometimes, and that's why I say, like, it doesn't have to just be the entire life. It can just be, like, a section, because autobiographies can be, it's just you.
Yeah. No, I agree. And another one could also be how to deal with grown men, adult children.
I mean, how to deal with some old yellow shoes. I mean,
yeah, how to deal with old yellow.
it's a how to, and then when to throw away that old pair of yellow shoes.
Yeah. Love it.
It's fine.
Maybe it can be a collab.
Hey, I'm down. I have a writing degree, kind of. I got you.
A writing degree, kind of.
It was my minor when I graduated.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a degree, but not a degree. It's half a degree.
So I work in marketing, but technically my degree is in public relations, specifically geared towards the recording industry. So, like, I live in Nashville.
Yeah.
You know, music business is here.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the music business here. I don't know a single person that I graduated with that actually got a job in the music business. So yeah, so for a long time, like, I'd never used my degree, but now I use my minor.
Hey. We love to see it.
It took me, I've been out of college for 13 years.
Okay.
And I just started using my degree 4 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people who are using their degrees.
No. Like, I worked for Verizon
Oh.
customer service for like a really long time. Yeah.
I'm proud of you for getting out of there.
Woo, man, it's rough. It's rough out there. People are really like uptight about their phones.
Yeah.
Like really uptight.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I deal with entitled people every day I go to work. Because it's like they're richer people. And I am not the richer people. So I don't take their crap. And then, like, some lady wanted to write I had a feeling she was going to write a bad review about me. I was like, okay, do it. You may hate me, but I have regulars who love me, so
yeah,
fight me.
Bye.
It's like, bye, Karen. See you later.
Yeah. I feel bad for anyone ever named Karen. Like, although I've never met like a great Karen, so
I haven't either.
I guess it works.
It's just true in their nature. They're just Karens.
Yeah,
bad people.
Like, I had one friend in middle school named Karen, and she stabbed me in the back by dating the guy that I liked, so. Fuck Karens.
Did you make her into a sim and keep her in a box with a fire pit?
I may have.
I think you might have.
Yeah. It probably happened at some point.
It's therapeutic, you know? Therapy.
Yeah.
Why pay for therapy when you can make your ex-friends into Sims and
yeah, exactly.
torture?
Exactly.
Everyone wins. So
yes.
You mentioned you guys are going on a road trip, or a few road trips, it seems like, for indie shows. But anything, like any other future plans you want to talk about or can talk about that are happening within the next like few months?
We're working on my show, so we're about to end season 2, and we're gonna take a 2-week break before season 3. Mm-hmm. So coming back with season 3, I am, and I promise, I know I say this all the time, but like, I'm actually gonna get back on doing the comic.
Do you want to explain the comic debacle to
so
people
the
who might not know?
So the comic is called The Heel Support Group with Max and Colby. And Max is MJF. And Colby is Seth Rollins, because that's Seth Rollins' real name. We use everybody's real names because copyright. Yep. Things like that. And so, like, it's just funny, you know, we come up with funny storylines. It's like a 6 to 8 slide comic where I take pictures of all of our different figures. Let me see. We have The Rock. We have a Attitude Era Vince McMahon. Makes sense. We just got Ric Flair. I have Charlotte, Becky, Seth, MJF, Roman, Jim Cornette, and The Rock. Currently, Becky is not in the support group because she's not a heel. And I guess Charlotte is also out too. I've been on the hunt for a Bailey, and I haven't been able to find one.
If I find one, I will send it to you.
Thank you. But yeah, so doing that, I have toyed with doing it as a stop motion little short.
Oh, shit.
But I gotta get some people to do voices for me. So that's something I'm gonna play with.
I've always wanted to be a voice actor. I will gladly help.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, like I made a short, like, I think it's like 11-second one a couple of, like, I think it was last year. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But it's like, it was right before WrestleMania last year.
Okay.
And it was like everyone hyping up, oh, what if The Rock comes? What if The Rock comes? So I like did like a moment, like I did like Roman's like standing in the ring, like celebrating, and then like The Rock comes in and like punches him in the face and like takes the belt, and Roman like scurries away. It's pretty funny.
Oh, stop. I had to do a stop motion project in high school. It's so tedious, but so worth it.
Yeah.
If you do that, It's gonna be incredible. I already know.
Yeah. So I might do like the weekly like photo comic, and then maybe like once a month do like a stop motion.
There you go.
We're gonna be rolling my show. Yes. So I've got to get stuff to that. We are going to be rolling merch. I am working on that during this break. Yay. So it's not just gonna be like BotchedSpots and ChairShots stuff. We're gonna have some stuff for some other smaller TikTok creators too.
Okay.
And we're also gonna do, so I'm gonna do like some generalized like fun wrestling shirts and stuff. So like not everything's gonna be branded BotchedSpots and ChairShots. Like it'll just be like fun little like wrestling quotes or things like that. Like we had a crappy. We have some heat with some independent wrestlers here in the area. Oh. And I wouldn't even call them independent wrestlers. They're really like, they're like an outlaw mud show. Like.
Okay.
Yeah, and this one dude's like a big baby. So he called us fucking marks once.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, he said that we were fucking marks that didn't know anything about the business, which, as you know, is like very far from the truth.
Very false information.
Yeah, so like we're gonna have a shirt that says like, I'm a fucking mark on it. Like, just funny things like that.
Okay. That'll be fun. I'll buy stuff.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing that. Like, I've said I was gonna do merch for like 2 years now, and it's taking the time to sit down and like design it all out. Like, I've got a few things, but like,
yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I'm thinking about changing the logo for ShElite, but I don't know what I want to change it to. So I've been like trying to figure that out, and then I want to do like more merch with it, because right now I just have like stuff for like shirts and stuff for ShElite, and then the Pro Wrestling Pro Choice shirt that Smacking Around and I both have. Same shirt, Jizzy designed it, and then all of that stuff. But I want to like, the same thing, like I want to do more with it that's not just all ShElite stuff, but it's hard.
Yeah, because I feel like as a podcast, like not all of the listeners are gonna want to be like, oh, I'm gonna wear a BotchedSpots and ChairShots t-shirt today. It's like, no, you gotta do other things to make money.
Yeah.
For your podcast, so
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
We can make a new pro wrestling tees. We'll be the new pro wrestling tees.
Fuck pro wrestling tees. It is the time where you are now allowed to ask me anything. I'm an open book. The only thing, you've heard the story, so I'm not gonna say how I got my start in podcasting, because you've heard the story. But podcasting, wrestling, personal, whatever you want to ask, go for it.
One thing I want to ask, and I don't know if I've ever heard this story. How did you and Savannah get together?
Okay. So, a little before the pandemic, maybe, decided to create like a separate Instagram from my own. So that was all wrestling related stuff, like merch pics, and I was a Young Bucks fan for a really long time.
Okay.
I mean, back in the day, I was very much Team Bucks. Like 3 years ago at this point, like when they were kind of starting AEW and everything like that. Yeah. So, this one girl on Instagram she put like something in her story asking if somebody wanted to do like, if people want to do like this challenge thing. It was like I can't even remember the name of the challenge anymore, but basically she created a group chat, and Savannah was in that group chat, and Savannah and I grew close. Same with me and another girl, her name's Brooke. She actually lives like 3 hours from me. She lives north, and we always meet up every time AEW comes, so I'll see her in April whenever they come again, so we get to hang out. But yeah, Savannah and I met through that challenge and did that, And then we kind of grew closer. I had her on, it was a Survivor Series recap for Smacked Raw, because I was like, well, I don't want to do this alone, and no one else wants to help me. So I reached out to Savannah, because I knew she was, like, kind of interested, and, like, she always supported me when I told them I was, like, guys, I'm joining a podcast, and, like, they were very much happy for me, and she was very much one of the few who were like, hell yeah, like, good for you, always supported, came in the chat and stuff. So I asked her if she wanted to come on the recap with me, and that one wasn't live, it was just her and I recording, so that way I didn't, and plus, it's so difficult trying to do recaps like that. I'm happy I don't do those anymore.
Yeah, recaps are the worst.
Oh my god. Terrible. In that format, awful. I'm happy I don't have to do those again. Smacking Around, different story. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
But we did that, and then it was maybe like a few months later, I kept being like, well, I want to do ShElite Showcase to Kyle, and I was like, I kind of like want more female representation on the channel, because I was the only girl. And so I asked Savannah, I was like, hey, do you want to do this with me? And she was down. We did like 11 episodes on Smacked Raw when I was reaching the end of my contract, if you will. When I originally was deciding that I wanted to branch off on my own, I asked Savannah, I was like, I'm probably going to be leaving Smacked Raw soon. Do you want to take ShElite with me, like, and we can go do our own thing? And here we are now, a year and some change later, with ShElite on its own. Savannah has 2 of her own shows. She's blossomed into a beautiful little podcaster, my little baby.
Love her.
And here we are now.
That's awesome. Yeah, like, I never knew how you and Savannah got together, because obviously, like, she's in Texas and, you know, you're in Pennsylvania, so it's not like...
We're not close at all.
Yeah, you're not, like, best friends from, like, middle school or something. You know what I'm saying? Like...
Yeah.
Have you and Savannah, like, ever met?
No. We haven't.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we're gonna attempt maybe, like, sometime this year, if not next year. It's just hard, like, because I'm already taking a lot of time off in August. I'm taking, like, 2 weeks in a row off in August for a bachelor party. I'm trying to go to SummerSlam for a day, and then my vacation with my family at the beach. All within the same time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. But, it's just hard because she is still young. I mean, she just turned 21, but her parents are very protective and don't really want her traveling places alone. So it would basically be me having to go all the way down to Texas.
Maybe we'll just all go to Texas and meet Savannah.
Maybe we can all just go to Texas.
Yeah, we've met Kai. So SummerSlam was in Nashville, and so Kai and his wife actually stayed with me for one night during SummerSlam, and then we went to North Carolina Thanksgiving weekend for the Ricky the Dragon's last match. So we went to Kai's house and went and hung out with him. But Kai's the only one that we've met, like, in person. But we're gonna try to go to Chicago and meet, like, Ritter and Vince. And
if you guys try and go to SummerSlam,
I don't know if SummerSlam is going to be in the cards.
But WrestleMania next year.
Correct. WrestleMania next year, 100%. That's why SummerSlam might not be in the cards.
I understand.
We are all getting Airbnb, and we're going to have a huge party, and it's going to be amazing.
Hell yeah.
I'm so pumped. So pumped.
Me too, because I only have to drive,
work that out.
5 hours. This will be the first time I don't have to fly anywhere for a pay-per-view.
Yeah. It's so funny, like, what did Will say the other day? He said, like, we'll fly into Pittsburgh and then drive with you to Philly.
Yeah, and I said, Will can't fit in my car because he's 6 foot. I'm 5'3" and I barely fit in my car. Come on now.
I'm 5'2". So, short girls, woo!
That's us.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm super short. Yeah, he's almost a foot taller than me, yeah.
Jesus. Ugh, tall people.
Tall people. They're the worst. My kitchen cabinets, like, there's literally nothing on the top shelf.
You can't reach them.
I can barely reach the second shelf.
I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. It's the worst.
It is.
Let's see. What other questions do I have for you? What's your dream job? Like, if you could have any job, like, what would you want to do?
Oh, God. If you would have asked me this question 3 years ago, give or take, I would have told you something in social work. Because that's my degree. That's what I graduated with. That's what I spent all that money on. Don't use it. Put that out there. Don't use the degree I have, as we discussed. Now, if I could get paid doing this, I would be extremely happy. Even if it was, because I write the, like that Wrestling Soulmates thing that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that was just, like, an idea I had because I saw, Haley from Tag Talk and Romanticized Wrestling. She had, like, a Substack of, like, writings she was making. So I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. And I asked her, like, how to get it started. And she really helped me out. And I really appreciate it. So I started, like, writing stuff that, like, interests me. Like, I did a piece on Rhea Ripley, like, last year. And, like, Diamond Mind, which people really wouldn't expect an article about. But, like, they interest me. And I love Ivy Nile.
Yeah.
So if I could somehow get paid doing this and also get paid writing about wrestling that, not just, like, the typical, like recaps of shows and what happened at pay-per-views and stuff like that, just about, like, articles that, like, I think would interest people, like the Wrestling Soulmates thing, and, like, and I asked Twitter to help me with, so like it was a kind of like a collaborative effort, and, like, I have, originally it was going to be 3 parts, and I think I have enough rivalries to make it 4 parts. It's just a lot of note-taking on my end and then typing it up, and I told myself I'd get the next part done this month. It might not happen, but I'm going to try my best. So if I could combine those, or get paid to do both of those separately, that would be a dream.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think you would be awesome at it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Because I love ShElite, which I'm pissed. Like, we were talking the other day. I was like, did they not do a show on Thursday? And he's like, no, I think they did with Katie
told me about that.
No, neither one of us got a notification. Like, that's so weird. Bizarre.
Because, like, I got the notification on my Twitch, like, from my phone.
Yeah. Well, I also, for Kai and RN on Tuesday, I didn't get a notification either.
Huh. Maybe you might have to, like, just check your, like, notifications and everything and see.
Maybe. And, like, I get a bajillion notifications because, like, I'm going hard on, like, TikTok and stuff right now. But, like, you know, so there's always a million notifications. But, yeah, like, it just, I was pissed. Like, I was pissed. Like, I was thinking about yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I was like, was there a ShElite on Thursday? And, like, I was pissed because I missed it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I always, that's kind of the thing I love about doing this, is going live and, like, seeing you guys in the chat and, like, reacting to the shenanigans that happen in the chat, like Will flirting with Vince, and then Matt, and then Jesus, and everybody, Justin. So that's, like, my favorite part about it. So sometimes when there's no people, I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll just talk to me and Savannah.
Yeah. No, that's why, like, we, you know, because we know what it's like when there's nobody in the chat. Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it makes the show not as fun.
It's a little disheartening sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, where are all you at, motherfuckers? Like, I don't know, but can you imagine, like, what Ritter and Vince and Will are going to be like together in person?
Oh my God. I'm gonna
need 4 shots just to make it through.
Listen, I was there the first time Matt and Vince met together in real life. That was when I went to Chicago. That was when we did, like, our big meetup last year. Because I was like, that's really the first time you guys met. And they were like, yeah.
They live in the same city.
Yeah. I mean, far apart. But, yeah, it was... that was the first time I got to meet Matt, Vince, Justin and his family. Jizzy, who I love dearly, Benji. So the only person out of like our separate little chat is that I need to meet is Heel Tactics Justin, because he lives in I think North Carolina or South Carolina. But like I met Regan TC 2 years ago at this point and in Vegas for SummerSlam, which I'm still mad the three of us didn't get a picture together. And TC and I were just talking about that the other day. I was like, what the fuck? How did we not do that? I took a picture of them in Malik, who is barely even on their show anymore. Like, I took pictures of them, and none of us. I was like, fuck. And I didn't take a picture with TC and Money in the Bank either. I'm slacking. Take pictures. Capture moments, people. Capture the moments with your friends.
For sure. So funny. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, all of them together.
Yeah.
It'll be
it's a time, I tell you that. But adding Will to the mix, yeah, I'll have fun.
Will and Vince are gonna be hilarious, I think.
Oh yeah, I expect a lot of take lots of videos, send them to me when you guys meet up, because I don't know if I can swing Chicago this year too.
Yeah. Well, like, my cousins live in Chicago, so like we'll have a place to stay.
There you go.
So they won't, the only thing out of pocket will be like food and gas, because like hotels are expensive. Like, I don't.
Yep.
Like, here's the thing, like, I won't call myself a bougie bitch, but like.
But you a bougie bitch?
I'm not gonna sleep in a shitty hotel. Like, I'm just not. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not about that bed bug life. Like, I'm not about like.
I understand.
Like, having to be worried. Like, I'll sleep in like a cheap hotel, but like shitty.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of have to, like. So the first time I went to Vegas, I stayed in a Red Roof Inn off the Strip, and it was terrifying and scary. Mm-hmm. But then when I went last year, I stayed at, where did I stay? The Excalibur. So, like, I was on the Strip, and I was there, and it was...
Yeah.
So, I get it. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes it's beneficial to be bougie.
Yeah, because, like, you don't get murdered.
Exactly.
Like, I have a rule about hotels. Like, I won't stay in a hotel that has an outside entrance to the room.
Gotcha.
Just because, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's not safe. Which is dumb because, like, my house is an outside entrance, but, like...
It's different.
It is different. It's very different. Like, at Disney, like, something like that, like, that's a little different. But, like, I'm not going to stay in, like, a Motel 8 or something. Like,
yeah.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah. I understand.
Mildly bougie.
Any other questions you have for me?
I do have one.
Okay.
Least favorite wrestler.
Least favorite.
Because everyone always talks about the favorite. Like, who do you just not like?
I feel like there's a lot of people I just don't like.
But who's, like, your epitome of, like, ugh?
Honestly.
Hogan. Say it, Hogan.
Well, no, Hogan's a piece of shit, point blank, period. Same, as much as people want to talk about Ric Flair's career and everything, Ric Flair's also just a huge piece of shit. That's neither here nor there. But, like, it might, like, sound gimmicky and sound fake, but I have a very, very large disdain for Bill Goldberg. I
can see that.
I just had the conversation yesterday or 2 days ago with my mom about Goldberg. I was just like, I hate him. I can't. He's old. His opinions are trash. He almost killed The Undertaker. We'll never forget. Like,
he almost killed Bret Hart.
He almost killed a lot of people. Like, no. And I never understood it. And, like, I didn't watch, like, WCW and anything like that, so that was before my time, and I never went back and watched it because I don't necessarily care about watching Goldberg's rise to fame. Yeah, I hate Bill Goldberg. Yeah. That's probably my least favorite wrestler.
Yeah. we all know that I dislike Kenny Omega, but it has nothing to do with like his in-ring work. I mean, he's great in the ring. There are things that he has done that I don't think are spectacular.
I understand. You don't have to explain yourself. I
understand. No, I know. I just like, yeah, I hate people. I like and dislike people for non-wrestling, like for not their wrestling abilities, but like their antics. Like, yeah. There's no one I dislike because like they're not good. It's just maybe Goldberg because well, you hurt people.
Yeah.
Like I think like Nia Jax I think is like a cool person, but like she's just not safe in the ring.
No, and her takes are a little out there.
A little bit. Like she's a good content creator and I think she's absolutely beautiful.
Oh yeah. 100%.
But like girl, you gotta be safe in that ring. Like there's no excuse for that.
No excuses.
So, but yeah. Terrible takes. All my takes are terrible. Everyone thinks so, and they make sure to tell me. I have this one like I've been saying this forever, and I feel like now that Toxic Attraction is broken up, like they could 100% make this happen. Like straight up, Gigi Dolan could be like real life Lily.
Ooh.
Like she could still be Gigi, but crazy Alexa could think that she's Lily. Genius.
He said.
I mean, she's got the hair for it.
She does.
And the look.
I love Gigi Dolan.
Like she could whole ass be like real life Lily.
Yeah,
like I think that's something that they dropped the ball on was making Lily turn into a like real person.
Yeah, because like when Alexa was like going through the therapy thing, she even like said that she was like in the grocery store or something, and she saw like a woman who looked like the doll, and I was like, that you could have used that.
Yeah, and they can use Gigi for that.
I just like utilize Gigi in general. I love Gigi.
Yeah, like Gigi's great, but like that would be a way to get her up to the main roster. Give her a top, like one of the top storylines right now. Like Alexa's going crazy. Like make her think she's seeing Lily as a person and dress fucking Gigi up as Lily.
Oh yeah, she'd rock that outfit. Little overall
Absolutely.
Dress. Hell yeah. Let's make it happen. If somebody's listening.
Yes.
Gigi Dolan.
Triple H, if you're listening.
Hunter, Paul Levesque, you listening?
Paul.
Maybe if we say his name.
We'll use your government name. Paul.
I mean, they use it sometimes in WWE.
They do
for the media things. Byron's always like Paul, Triple H, Levesque. I'm like, why is Triple H in the middle?
I don't know. I think the media scrums, like both from AEW and now WWE, like I think it's dumb.
I think it's cool just to hear people like Sammy got to talk last night.
Yeah.
So like things like that I'm okay with, but like the AEW's media scrums. I mean, we saw what happened at one of the last one, one.
Yeah, because like the questions aren't like shoot questions. The questions aren't work questions, like they're shoot questions.
Yeah.
I do think it's cool that they allow like small podcasters into those. Mm-hmm. They may not get to ask questions, but it's cool that they get to be there.
Yeah.
So,
SummerSlam.
We should all try to get in for Mania.
Oh hell yeah! I know a person. I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
You know a person that works that actually works there?
Yeah.
And not just for 3 months as a temp?
No, like he's been how long has he been working there? He used to just be with NXT touring, but then NXT stopped touring, and then he was fired for a little bit because they all got laid off because they weren't touring.
Yeah.
But now he's like been on the road with them.
That's super cool.
Ever since then, so like 2 full years, I think.
That's neat.
Yeah.
There is a guy on TikTok that drives one of their trucks.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
like TikToks and stuff on Wrestle Talk. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, he's one of their truck drivers.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just so random. It's like, well, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just like there's some girl that I, excuse me, see on my For You page sometimes, and I think she's like training in the PC. Like she's one of the newer like NXT kids. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's crazy because like she just made one about how she just got her gear. She didn't show it, but like she was like, I just got my gear, super excited to try it on, and like then she like cut to her face and she was like so happy that she got it and everything.
Aww,
I was like, good
that's
for
so
her.
cool.
I think she's like one of the what I can't remember the acronym for it, like the athletes that they're bringing in. Because I think she said she's like 6 feet tall.
Wow.
Yeah, precious angel. She's adorable. But she was like, I'll probably end up being a heel because it's hard to be a babyface when you're 6 feet tall or whatever she said.
I don't know. Charlotte's a baby, kind of a baby.
Charlotte, did we count Charlotte as a babyface?
She's like Charlotte's version of a babyface.
There we go.
Charlotte is like with Charlotte, like she's one of those you love to hate her. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I love Charlotte. Like she's my like female goat. Like I love her to death. Like I don't know. There's just something about her attitude and like while her father is problematic, like I do think it is cool that like she uses little pieces of his gimmick and like modernized it for herself. Like I think that's like coming in as like a second generation like talent. Yeah. Especially for somebody as huge as Ric Flair, like she either had to like completely ignore it and not be a Flair or embrace it enough to where like she makes it her own. Yeah. And I think she's found like that really good balance with it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I love the robes and she uses like a little piece of his music and so
it's a good homage,
works for her. Yeah. It's paying respect to the name without being completely like him.
Yeah.
She's not like she didn't like do all his moves. She does. I mean, her finisher is similar, but she adjusted it to be her own.
She did. She made it the figure 8 instead of a figure 4.
Mm-hmm. Unlike Natty, who is now wearing like Brett's hats or whatever she's doing. I want to love her so much. I just can't. I can't do it.
I like that the end of this has just become us talking about wrestlers we don't like.
Yeah. You know. I want to like her. Like, I love Natty. Like, I think she, you know, as much shit as people give for, like, her work, like, I think she does a good job. I just think that, like, she's never in the storyline for long enough to not have a little bit of ring rust. Yeah. So, like, unfortunately, that's what they do to the women. Unless you're the top 6 women, you're always going to have a little bit of ring rust.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we can talk about that on Boss Bitch Power Hour.
Yeah, we should. We should.
I think we definitely should. Did you have anything else you wanted to ask?
I don't think so. I think I know most everything else about your... You know.
That's true. Yeah, if you don't have anything, first and foremost, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me. I was super excited to do this.
Of course. I mean, I had Will on. Of course I'd have you on. Because, you know.
Because I'm the best.
You are the glue of Botched Spots and Chair Shots.
Could you imagine what it would be like if I wasn't there?
Oh, my God. Some yellow shoes might still be
audio only, and he would not have a good logo. It would be something weird.
I agree 100%.
Actually, I think Botch and Chair Shots wouldn't even exist because, like I said, I was literally like, okay, here's a logo, like, let's go.
Yeah, you had to push them along.
Yeah.
But tell the people where they can find you and all of that fun stuff.
You can find me on the tweeters and the tiki-taki at justagirl918. I'm trying to get 1,000 followers on TikTok. I'm at 790 right now. So we're getting close, making some progress. Currently my TikTok content is just me like putting funny music to like botches and different things like that, because you got to play the TikTok game before you can really make your own content.
Yep.
Because whenever I post anything that's like just me, like no views, but like I posted this thing and I just called it like AEW botches, but it was literally just CM Punk botches from like the 1 year he's been active in AEW. And like the comments went crazy.
I mean, yeah, you were just speaking facts. It happens.
Yeah, like no context. It just said AEW botches, and it was like a minute-long video of all his botches, and yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, TikTok and the tweeters is where you can find me, and you can find Will Gray at the _Will_Gray on Twitter and TikTok. BotchedSpotAndChairShots, also Twitter and TikTok and Instagram. And BotchedSpotAndChairShots.com. We're gonna maybe do some more fun things with some of our online content, but Will writes various articles on different stuff. Maybe we can have Miss Katie write us some articles. Yeah,
I'm always down. You know, yeah.
That's where the things are.
That's where the things are. And Sunday nights?
Sundays at 8 p.m. Central. No, that's a lie. Sundays at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, on Rivet City Radio. You can also find the audio versions anywhere you do anything on the internet for podcasting. See, what I should have done is his whole like little spiel.
Oh yeah, unsubscribe, subscribe again.
Subscribe, then yeah. One day, like I can do like bits and pieces of it, but not the whole thing. But yeah, like we're on Apple, Google, pretty much all the podcast things, because thankfully for Anchor, it spits it all out for us.
We love Anchor over here.
We love Anchor.
And of course, you can find that stuff, the links, description in the video and the audio. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at KatieRasson13. The link to I'm about to take all things ShElite Showcase, twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase, typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, youtube.com/ShElite Showcase. Watch videos. I think they're way more entertaining. That's just me. But if you don't want to, you can listen. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. ShElite is the brand, the weekly show inside the mind of. Hi, hello, you're watching that right now. It's the interview series I do with some fun peoples like Allison, of course. And there's a bunch of other stuff up on the channel. And we always have to thank Heel Tactics Justin for creating the music that you listened to at the beginning of this episode, and you'll be listening to again in a few seconds. We love you, Justin. Thank you so much. His links, of course, are always in the description as well. Allison, thank you again so much for doing this with me. I had a blast.
Me too. I'm glad you had me on.
Of course. Wait, I'm trying to get a lot more like females on this year. I had a lot last year. I'm trying to like double that number this year.
For sure.
So we got this. Thank you everybody again so much for watching, listening. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.